Hello everyone, I'm Sergey. Today I'd like to introduce you to a friend of mine from the United States of America whom we once met on a language platform, and I discovered him as someone with a great talent for expressing his thoughts about the world we live in. His name is Michael Denetelli. I would like to share with you one of his poems that I love. You told me once, not so long ago, that you had a lot to cry about, so let it out, cry with me, and feel better. How can I blame you or judge you when the rain has always been my favorite sort of weather? Let your soul reset itself, allow your face to wet, be open with me and vulnerable with me, so that we can never forget the comedy we share. Show yourself to me, even the parts that hurt or that you fear may cause me to leave, because it will not as sure as the bed on which we might lay. Please let it out. Let there be no delay. And there are some of the reflections of Michael about what poetry in our life is. If I were to give a somewhat less than tentative answer as to my reasons for writing, I am fairly certain that it would sound something like the following. I write to preserve little moments in time, and I also write to give the world a sharper sense of definition and to find new ways in which to shape it. Those reasons may seem whimsical and overwrought to some and perhaps even flat out delusional to others, but they've always worked for me. From the time that I was small, I've always harbored the belief that the world is never quite as solid as the majority of us in it would contend that it is. It's through writing that I find the most immediate means to explore this notion, and that's why the ability to arrange words on the printed page is so essential for me. It's never really been something I want to do, or even a thing in which I excel, but a mainstay and a cornerstone to good health and good living. For me, writing is as essential as food and air and sleep, and not to mention the silence in which it is done. For me, it's not just a way to make a living, but a reason, in and of itself, to live. Irrespective of the form it takes, a poem, a story, a letter, or just a few dictated and fragmented thoughts on a piece of loose-leaf paper, writing must always be there. With that being said, though, I recognize and I'm fully aware of the fact that there will come and have come times when I'll be forced to write things that don't exactly stir my passions. On those more than likely occasions, I'll just be forced to let my approach to the work be as passionate as it can be. This again may sound highly impractical, but I would consider it as workable a solution as any. After all, as professional writers and those who work in any skilled trade, we are all given work from time to time which is less than exciting to us. However, there exists no written or unwritten law of writing that says we can't interface with a less than thrilling topic from a smile-inducing angle. To my mind, any writer who hasn't considered and given serious credence to that idea isn't worth his salt or even his water. Also, in my opinion, an innocent writer who finds him or herself stunted as to an angle at which he or she could approach a topic in a way that invigorates a work that would otherwise be just another drudging piece of copy probably isn't equal to the task of writing in any of its forms. That may not be the most diplomatic view that one can take of the matter, but that is simply how it seems to me. That's just the smallest taste of the reasons that I have for writing, and also my views upon the art itself. I hope that you will find something of value in the words I have dispensed here. The ways and jargon of the digital revolution don't fill the brain. They clog it like mental cholesterol. I could have lived my whole life without being tainted by its influence. Its thinning effect upon the language, its ravaging effect upon the human attention span. There is so much that we of my generation, and even those before us, and certainly those after us, fail to take in from the ordinary organic world. Not just the smell of a rose or the feeling of fresh cut grass between your toes, but simply the joy of a face-to-face chat in which no screen must intercede, or the slick feel of the pen in your hand as you write a note to a distant friend. Even the sense of presence that comes from a few moments alone, our fingers left unused for the pressing of keys. All this they miss, and even the sensation of missing someone is gone. In light of these absences, I frown on behalf of my peers, and I weep for the future.